got to have these little like sidelines at the moment, especially. Like, it's the only way to keep going, I suppose.
But yeah, if you're self-employed right now, like unless you're doing some bit crazy in need, like I think everybody's kind of like, what else can I do to figure it out? And
yeah, and I think people who have got work coming in are like still even worried about future, what's going to happen in the next few months, isn't it? Because
I think in no matter what industry you're in, apart from like the healthcare profession right now, I think like everybody's a bit like, because like I got friends of mine who are like a couple of guys from Sweet Ignitions, like one of them's a plasterer, one of them's a tiler, and like even they're super busy. Yeah. But like even they're like, man, I don't know how long this is gonna last.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it seems weird. Like all building trades and stuff seem like weirdly busier than ever. I don't know if like. You know what I mean? How long can the government keep paying out money?
Which is the thing, isn't it? It's like I know. I mean, I'm not gonna get like hyper political, but like I'm an arty kind of guy. I'm a bit of a lefty, and like it was part of like the Tory thing was like, Corbyn and his magic money tree, and then it's like now they're just like doing everything that he said he was going to do anyway, and I'm like, well. Like magic money tree, like I'm at least he said he was going to tax super rich people. Like, how are we going to pay for this? So we'll figure it out, I guess. But like, you're right. Though I don't know how, like, as a country, we're going to afford to keep paying people. But I hope they do, because otherwise I'm going to be eating ramen for every meal.
Good test run for UBI, innit? Universal Basic.
Yeah.
You get the AI up and running now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I mean, I was really fortunate with that because, like. When I set up being self-employed, I went through the system, and then also after your first year, they just kind of monitor you for a year, just make sure you're like hitting minimum income floors and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, then COVID happened, and I just phoned them up and was like, "So, like, my entire industry's just gone on a halt. That's not my fault." And they were like, "Yeah, it's fine. Like, we're gonna do this and this." So, like, I am getting a little bit of money in there. So that massively helps.
Yeah.
And normally I would be like, oh, they suck, but actually they've been really helpful. So like, if like anyone can, I do recommend going like checking out Universal Credit stuff right now if you're struggling. Because it's not a lot, but it's better than nothing,
You have a couple of years books, haven't you? Be entitled to like a third though.
Yeah, well, but
on a decent level.
Well, yeah, mine wasn't that great though because I mean, it was again better than nothing, but like because I've only got technically a year of trading, it was only based on my like 1 year rather than 3 years worth of trading, and obviously like I was just getting started, so it wasn't like the best. Again, it was a bit of money, but it wasn't like, oh, cool, I'm good for 3 months. It was like, cool, I'm good for a month. Sweet. So yeah, it's just like side hustles at the moment, keeping me afloat, and like just working remotely as much as possible with bands and artists. There's a friend of mine up in Hereford runs a studio called AR Studios, which are great. Brian Jordan, and like I've been working with him, going up there doing a couple of sessions. Sort of last minute, he'd hit me up and be like, "I need a drummer on Monday," and I'd be like, "Yeah, cool, I'm there."
Yeah.
So it's like little bits like that, and just picking up what I can when I can, and so anyone that's like needs stuff recorded, I'm like, yeah, cool, let's figure out a deal, what works for you and your price range and stuff. And
I'm sure it's going to turn around, like, because all them people who are going to get married, chances are they're still going to get married. It's just
I mean, it's pretty much like it's weird because like I said, like I do like 100 gigs a year, and currently it's like I did 1 gig in August, and like I'd be doing like 5 a week normally. So it's like it's just nuts, but all of that hasn't like just gone away. It's not like, oh, that's done, brush it up. It's like that's all moved to next year plus everything else. So like if everything chills out for like 5 minutes so I can actually go back to work, then it's going to be nuts next year for me.
Because even if the wedding's smaller, as in like maybe you're not going to have weddings with 100 people there, maybe they might be like 50 or something. You're still going to need a band.
Yeah, well, you still,
like 50 people, 100 people. So like in some respect, it may not actually affect you when it comes to doing your weddings, which is quite a good thing. Yeah,
man, and I think, like, obviously I'm slightly biased, but I do think, like, the evening is one of the big parts of the wedding. Like, the big parts of the wedding are the dress, the food, and, like, the evening entertainment. I think they're the things that people still won't skimp out on.
Yeah,
whereas,
definitely.
like, when it comes to weddings, there's certain stuff they can think, we don't really need that, we don't really need this. Do we really need, like, whereas I think that's, like, such an integral part of a good wedding that it's like, yeah, man, that's what we want. So
that's what a lot of people remember, isn't it? Oh, with the band good.
Yeah, with the band good, was the food nice, our dress was beautiful. Like, nobody cares about anything else really at weddings. Yeah, at least from my experiences. For like going to friends' weddings and stuff. I'm sure there's like some calligrapher out there who's like, God, wrong! But like, yeah, I mean, like, that's the stuff that people like really care about. So that's the stuff that's hopefully, if everything chills out and get back into, and it'll be okay. But again, it's all still up in the air right now, so
Oh, that's mad. Like, I want to say, like, obviously you started music in your teens, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. I think I started playing drums in Cricket. Actually, like just to like throw it back was I started playing drums before I could technically play drums. It was in Cricket Youth Club, and like there's a couple of guys. Like Ray's brother Reese. Yeah, but Reese, Sam, and Ed. We started like a little punk band, and they were like, oh, we kind of need someone who can play drums. And I was just like really into it. I was like 13, I think. And I was just like, I kind of wanted to play drums. My dad plays guitar. And so I grew up around music. And like, I love the Beatles. Growing up as a kid, my dad's like a massive Beatles fan.
Yeah.
So it was like, I grew up with constantly having music. And I watched it like, I remember distinctly the thing for me that made me want to be a drummer was watching Queen live at Wembley. And there's this shot of Freddie out the front, giving it the big race. And Roger Taylor, the drummer, on the kit, and just this packed Wembley Stadium. And I remember just looking at Rog, just counting it in and being like the engine behind the band and looking at that going, I want to do that, I want to do that. And then, like I went down to Cricket Youth Club and they were like, oh, we kind of need someone to play drums just for like this one song where we're trying to figure something out. And I was like, I could play drums. And I kind of like, I figured out like how rough, like simple beats worked. And it just went from there, man. Like, it was just like, cool that I can kind of do this. And then I was like banging on everything in the house, and then my mum would be like, oh my god, stop. Like, I'm like, no. And then she'd be like, fine, if you have lessons, will you stop banging on everything? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I had lessons, and it just took off from there. But I think like 13, I've been playing drums now longer than I wasn't in my life, which is crazy.
I can like remember you being super passionate about it, because like we were kind of in and out of Wavrin at that sort of stage.
Yeah, well, like, we used to hang out and play like wrestling video games and stuff. Like, I remember that fondly.
I can remember like thinking you got well into it, like fast as well. When once you started, that was it.
It just bit me, man, and I was away. Like, it was just. I think I'm really lucky. Like, I've got friends who are still trying to figure out like what they want to do with their life, and I've just known since I was like 13, 14, like I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I don't care if I'm broke or if I'm earning millions. Like, I don't care. Like, that's what I live for. It's what gets me up every morning to like be like, I want to get up and play drums. So
like, obviously you've worked in a job and stuff, and there's loads of people out there doing that, which they've probably got a dream in mind that they don't want to go for. So like, what was the turning point for you where you were like, this is it, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to fucking go for it now?
Yeah, man, I think it was kind of like a series of events, really. Like, I lived in Cardiff for a while, and I went to uni. And actually, ironically, when I was in uni, I didn't really play much drums. Like, I'd been in a band, and we had some like minor success. We got playing like Radio 1 and stuff, like when I was in sixth form. And then like that kind of fizzled out like just before I went to uni. And I kind of got like a little, not jaded, but I was a bit just like, maybe I could do something else in music. So like throughout uni, I like played guitar, I wrote songs, and kind of tried to figure out how to produce stuff. And badly, please don't dig up my old songs me singing, it's awful. But like, so I kind of figured that out, and then I was just working in a job. I mean, it was a great job. I worked for Lego when I was living in Cardiff, which like they're an amazing company to work for. I mean, you get to play with Lego every day. It's dope.
Like, dream.
Yeah, man, I did that. I worked there when I was through uni, and then like I moved back home because I couldn't really afford to live in Cardiff on like a minimum wage. Like, once I finished uni, obviously your uni money goes away, and then it was like, oh, what am I going to do now? Like, I was just kind of stuck in this job. So I moved back, and then I was traveling here to Cardiff for a while, and that was just not. I was like, well, I could just get a job here. So I got a job where I'm like working for like a tech company, and like the pay was great, and it was like, it was a good job. It was like there was a career there, but like I just hated it. Like, it was just kind of like, why am I doing this? Like every day. Like it's the thing of like, it's my idea of hell is that thing that a lot of people do. They're just kind of stuck in because that's what you're supposed to do. Is like, you get a job. It's just the idea of like, getting up at the same time every day, getting in a car that you don't really own and you can't afford, driving to a job, sitting in this traffic jam with the same people, to then go sit in an office, work 9 to 5, and then go out on the weekend and sit in the same bars and go to the same clubs and talk to the same people. Like, that idea of that kind of Groundhog Day loop, man, is just my idea of hell. Like, that's just pure purgatory. So it's like, I was kind of falling into that, and like the more I like was in the job, the less music I was doing. And then I was just suddenly realized, I was like, man, this is making me miserable. Like, I really miss playing drums all the time and like doing this. And so I just kind of thought like, maybe there's a way I can start earning some money like playing. And then as I started looking for jobs, and like I still wrote with bands, and like I started up Sweet Ignitions, my like rock band from Abergavenny. And that was awesome. Like, that was like, oh, cool, yeah, I remember this. This is awesome. This is great. I love doing this. And so that kind of like started me being like, maybe I can do this as a living. And then you just started sort of figuring it out. And then it was like, okay, well, if I'm going to do it full time, I need to like earn a wage.
Yeah.
And then I was really lucky. Like, I keep an eye on all sort of Facebook posts and music groups and that sort of stuff. And I saw John was like, I'm looking for a new drummer to be in my original band and wedding band.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually think it was just his wedding band at first, but I was like, yeah. So I went down to Cardiff and auditioned, and like I knew a few of the other guys who were auditioning who were like incredible drummers, but like I just seemed to get on better with the guys, so I think that's what landed me.
Fit, like.
Yeah, and then I just lucked out with that, and like I've been working with John, and then like John's been like kind enough to bring me into his original band as well, and we just started this year. We toured before old Rona decided to ruin everything, so like and then it was just kind of like. I was doing that, and it was like I could probably earn a living doing this. Like it won't be loads of money, but it's enough to live. And I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it. Yeah. And I know so many guys that are like older than me that are in their like 30s or 40s now, who are like, oh, I wish, but I never really. And I was like, I don't want to be another one of those dudes.
That can't be a fun place to be. Like,
man. Like, and I've seen it. Like, and you can see like the love in their eyes, but the hurt because they just didn't quite. And it's like, even if I don't go anywhere with it, like even if I just do it for like 5-10 years professionally, and like I end up, kind of on my ass. At least I tried to do it, like, and I think that's the advice I would give anyone that's like, I've got a dream, I don't know how to, just do it. Like, just take the leap, because you can always earn money, but you can't always do what you love.
Yeah, especially like looking back and not doing it is worse than looking back and having tried, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Like you say, like it's I'm saying like, I'm terrible. I've completely lost where I'm going with it, but yeah, like I say, it's better to look back and think, I tried, or I made it work. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I've been really lucky. I've kind of
saying that it's not going to like kick off, is it? Like,
no, dude.
John, like I followed him on like Instagram. Where
man.
Spoke the other day. And,
I mean, like he's got like something like 60,000 monthly Spotify listeners and stuff, and he's just been like, "Come be my drummer." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." Like went on Spotify. I was like, "Holy shit, this dude's like going places." So like, you never know. You never know what's gonna.
Yeah, it's a great
fall
opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, and just work hard, like, and play hard. I guess is like kind of lame cliche thing, but it's true. Like if you work really hard at something you really care about, you're gonna make it work because you care about it, and like you're not gonna. It doesn't feel like work. Like I don't get up every day and go, oh no, I've got to go and do what I love doing. Like it's like cool. Like this is great. Get up and go, wicked. What am I doing today? Oh yeah, I'm going to the studio and I'm going to record this and do this and that. It's dope.
Yeah, like when I like waking up this morning for this, I'm like, I'm looking forward to doing that today. I don't wake up thinking, another day of that. Like
I gotta go talk to that sweaty drummer. Go.
So you just gotta move in a direction you want to move in, like, cause
absolutely, man. Yeah.
Unless you start getting that momentum going, it ain't going anywhere, like, is it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's the old adage, the mountain won't come to Muhammad. Like you've just got to do it. Just do it. Like there's everybody in the like. It's easy to make excuses, and everybody's got an excuse of like, oh, but this.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck this. Like, just do it. Like, everyone's like, what's your plan B? Like, I've had that all my whole life. Like, I remember like going to school and like this, like careers counselor. I'd be like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to be in bands. Yeah. I want to be a rock star. And they're like, yeah, but what do you really want to do? And, like, I still get that now. Yeah. Like I'm 27, and like people are still like. Yeah, but what do you really do? I'm like, I'm a musician. Like,
you are doing it.
Yeah. But even though it's like, this is my job. Like, I signed my tax forms, like, session musician. And people are like, yeah, but what do you really do? I'm like, just because I don't work in Tesco, like, fuck you. Like, not to diss anyone that works in Tesco, because that's cool too. Like, but like,
I know what you mean. Like, if that's what you want to do, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just follow your passion, because like, and figure out a way of making it work. Because like, that's my other thing is like, people go, what do you want to do? Like, what's your plan B? And I'm like, fuck plan B. Yeah. Like, I'm just doing plan A until the wheels fall off, and then I'll be like, okay, well that's done. Now what? Like that's like I said, we've got side hustles and stuff just to kind of keep money coming in, but that's just diversifying your funds. It's just like. Sensible business.
Last year I worked full-time job, evening, then like self-employed for myself, working like all sorts of stupid hours. I was earning more money than I've ever earned in my life.
Yeah, man.
And I was probably the most unhappy I've ever been in my life because it just doesn't mean anything.
No, dude, like money is like it's money. Like I say, you can always earn money, but you can't always do what you love. Like that's like I really hold that to heart because it's like Yeah, I mean, like, you could be, like, earning squillions of pounds a month, but, like, are you happy doing that?
Yeah.
Like, if you are, amazing, sick. If you're not, then, like, what are you doing? Like,
if you're doing something you hate, you can only do so much negative before you're negative.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You are what you eat, sort of thing.
Yeah, totally, dude.
What you consume, like, you know, if you're hating everything you're doing day in, day out, chances are you have a negative outlook.
Yeah,
after
man.
that as well, aren't you? Can't just
definitely. And like, I totally buy into the whole like positive mental attitude stuff. Like, I'm big into that. Like, I just think like if you are positive about what you're doing, who you are, like when you meet people, like everything, like it's just it has an impact because it like if you just I totally believe that if you're negative all the time, you just invite it in. You just become this like human dementor from Harry Potter. Like you just like suck all the joy out of people. It's like just be full of life and enjoy it. Like I'm a pessimistic optimist. I'm always like, everything will go wrong and go completely tits up, but until it does, I'm just going to enjoy it and like just roll with the punches.
I was telling Lou earlier about Charlie Rocket. Have you ever heard of Charlie Rocket?
I know the name, rings a bell.
He was like a producer of like 2 Chainz and stuff.
Oh,
he was like his manager and stuff. He was like £300, like real big dude.
Yeah, big dude, yeah.
And then he like said, "I'm going to be an athlete," and they're all looking at him like, "You're not going to be an athlete."
Yeah.
Quit his day job and everything. Next thing you know, he's like down to like £180. He's done an Ironman.
Sick.
Like he's not earning half as much money and whether he literally don't care. And his big thing is like being a delusional optimist. Like, and he writes everything in a book, like what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve.
Yeah, man.
And every day he wakes up and he said in his head, he's like, "I'm on a winning streak." No matter what, like he'll start his day off with coffee. He's like, "All this coffee for this much money, I'm on a winning streak." Like that's like one of his big things.
Yeah, it's like Gary Vee and all those kind of dudes who are like, boom, like just do it, like visualize it and do it. And yeah, I think it's a mixture of like a combination of those things. If you're positive about what you do, if you're passionate about what you do, if you're good at what you do, because it's like, I mean, like you can be as passionate as you like about something. If you suck at it, like you're not going to get very far. It's just as brutally honest as it is. But like, and I'm like completely lucky and I'm like, mediocre at best. But like, I just, thanks, man. But like, you try and expand. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but like, if you work harder, but then that falls into the next bit of like work hard. Because if you work hard, you'll get better, and then you'll get better, and then if you're passionate about it, people will take notice, and then if you're like a nice person to be around, people are going to be like, "Hey, this guy's great. Let's like bring him in."
Yeah, you could be the best drummer in the world, but if you're a dick, chances are you're not going to be part of that band, are you?
Totally, man. Like I've known guys that have lost gigs purely because they suck. Not as a musician, just as a person. Like they're just like a lame hang, and no one wants to be around them, and it sucks because it's like like I've known guys that are probably better drummers than I am, lose way better gigs than I will ever get, just purely because they suck.
Yeah, it's a person like that.
Yeah.
And you see loads of people like as you're growing up as well, like mega talented people who could go really far in what they're doing. They just get outworked by people who were probably not as naturally gifted, but
work hard.
Unless you work, like you're probably not going to get.
Dude, I'm like, especially in music. Like I know guys that are insane musicians. Like you play a song like once and they'll just go, "Oh, cool, it's this." Yeah. I'm like, how do you do that, man? But then like they're just bedroom guitarists or whatever. Like they'll just like they just don't know how to like get out and be with people and like do life. And it's like it's such a shame because it's like, man, if you just like worked on that a little bit, you'd be like playing for Prince or whoever, like like crazy big guys.
Do you know Nick Jones from Crick?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, like he's just mad on guitar, like and he like obviously does a bit of like session guitar sort of thing. Like he'll turn up and learn the songs on the way and whatever. And I'm just like, how could you do that? I just don't know how you could engage your brain to just pick up on it. And
it's just habit though. It's like we're working out or whatever. Like you look at like these like guys that create like world's strongest man and stuff. You think, how the hell is he pulling that? Yeah. But then it's just time and effort. It's like anything. It's the 10,000 hours principle, which I don't know if you know about. It's like it takes 10,000 hours to become a master at anything. So
professional, I think I learned that in like history or something.
Yeah, man, it's just such a great principle. It's like if you put 10,000 hours of like genuine hard work into something, you'll become good at it. You'll become a master at it because you're engaging with that. Yeah. It's like, I totally believe that. Because for me, like when I was growing up, it was like I do school, I come home, and I play drums for like 2-3 hours. Not like like boring rudiments or like anything super technical. It would just be like I just play, but like I gotta put on a My Chemical Romance CD and play along with that because it's fun.
But I know, like when I was younger, I kind of liked the idea of playing guitar, and like I'd go to a class and whatever, I'd pick it up. You'd be learning like scales and stuff, just bored out my mind.
Yeah, man.
Like because that wasn't what playing the guitar was to me. So I just kind of gave up. Like, but
nobody wants to play guitar or like any musical instrument to like be like, oh, I can't wait to learn scales. Like, I want to play this so I look cool so I can get laid. Like, that's why anyone wants to be a musician. Like, and like this, yeah. But yeah, but it's probably a bit more than that. Like, it wasn't necessarily that for me. It was like, I want to do that because it looks amazing, and it's the only, like, now it's just like, it's the only thing I know how to do properly.
And getting laid is just a benefit.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm not going to say no. But I think, like, teachers can be, like, amazing or, like, really off-putting. Like, if you have a great teacher, it'll change your world. Like, my drum tutor, Dave Perkis, was amazing for me because, like, a lot of like guys who'd be like, I want to learn this like kill switch engage song or whatever, and they'd be like, nah, you want to learn this like boring sheet music. Whereas like they'd be like, yeah, dude, let's learn it. And then we'd like, and then he'd be like, okay, so you need to like learn this bit of music to play this, and I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, yeah. So I would figure it out that way. But yeah, like bad teachers where you just sit there and do scales for like 3 hours, just like
like kind of have your end result there and find a path to it rather than just trudging along the path.
Because
not knowing where you're going to get to, like
exactly.
Yeah, you want to be able to play what you want to play, like
yeah, dude. Be like, yeah, I want to learn this, right? Okay, to learn this, you need to do this and this and this. Okay, cool. But here's how it goes. You know, like just show people. Yeah, I mean, that's just not a teacher. I'm not a teacher. I mean, I've thought about teaching, but like, yeah, I'm not a teacher. But like, it's that could make or break a lot of people, especially in creative subjects. Like, just. But it's the same. Like, if you went to the gym, like, if I don't know, I don't really work out. Like, can you tell? But like, like I don't really. Yeah, but like, yeah, like if you go to the gym and like if I went to the gym and like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna just be there like
throwing stuff around.
Whereas and then like if it's some personal trainer who's just like, and then like it's gonna put me off. Whereas if some dude was like, oh man, like, you know, like don't do it like that, do it like this, or you're gonna hurt yourself. I'd be like, yeah. So it's all down to like that, and I think that's just, like life, man. It's just if you have like good teachers or good experiences, you're gonna lean more towards that than stuff that sucks.
Yeah, I think as well, like it's first impressions with a lot of things. Like you said, if you first day in the gym, you get a load of grief, or like people looking at you like you're stupid, you may never go back. Like, but
yeah, man, that's exactly what happened with me. Yeah,
but you may go another day and meet like the best trainer who wants to help you out, and like like you say, totally different vibe. Then
to me, like a lot. I mean, like recently I've kind of been locked down and stuff. I've had loads more time than I normally would, so I have been trying to like educate myself more about like fitness and health and that kind of stuff. And like, yeah, it's only been like now in my like mid-20s that I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably like actually look after myself and like maybe work out and do this kind of stuff because it'll help me. Because like if I'm playing drums for like 2-3 hours, like a proper full-size gig, it's like it's knackering. You know, it's like
I bet, it's physical, isn't it? You're literally throwing your arms around like
arms, legs going. I mean, like drumming is great for your core, so it's like I mean, I'm lucky in that respect because that is my workout. You know? Yeah. I'd probably be the size of a house if I didn't play drums. But like, yeah, I think like that it's just having good experiences and working out and trying to like make that like now I'm trying to like right, if I do that, how can I relate that to work? But like not in a kind of like it's work, in a kind of like, well, if I get like fit and healthy, then like it's going to help me playing, it's going to help my breathing, it's going to help this, which will in turn help my technique, which means, and then like, plus I'll look good, which means I'll get hired by more people. So, you know, it's all that kind of stuff.
I think mentally as well, like if you're not as tired physically, I expect like towards the end sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm tired.
Oh yeah, dude.
You're more switched on mentally as well if you've still got like loads of energy, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. And like touring is, you know, like touring is knackering. Like I'm fortunate, like the last tour I did with John, I'm not like going hell for leather every night. He's like an acoustic singer-songwriter, so it's kind of more thoughtful drums, I guess, rather than just like smashing it. But yeah, man, like I've toured with rock bands and punk bands and stuff, and it's knackering. Like you know, by like the third, well, it depends how long the tour is, but like if it's like a 2-week tour, by like 2/3 of the way through it, like you're like the last like 4 or 5 shows are like
I bet
blowing out my ass now. So like having that fitness there is definitely like a big part of it. Mental health sort of stuff side of it is like. It's good for your health. It's important, you know.
I think now, especially if people are going to be like locked down again, I think, you know what I mean, employ like that exercise and just make a massive change to your day. I say it all the time, like guy who's like gets probably a bit droning on about it, but I think like, you know, the more you do it, the better you get, the better you feel.
Yeah, totally.
Endorphins. What's that?
Podcast is a good example of that. Like every day you come in here. So the first day was just the setup with like a stool with a camera. And now we have these lights.
Yeah, man. It's all like it's building it up.
It's a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're stagnant, like you just back to the 9 to 5 sort of thing.
Yeah, man. But it's like, like you're saying with fitness stuff, it's like, like when I started working out like from home, doing like Joe Wick stuff. I mean, like that dude,
that's good, like.
Dude, he's amazing. He's super annoying, but also super amazing. So like I can kind of tolerate it because like his voice does my head in. But like, what he's doing is amazing, and like the whole like PE with Joe thing was wicked, and like. Yeah, just like his whole like the hit stuff. Like for me, that was like, oh yeah, I can work like really hard for like 20 minutes in a day. It's 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like even my fat ass can get off the sofa for 20 minutes. Like I just like stick an episode of something on Netflix and do this workout at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like you're dead by the end of it of doing hit stuff, but like it's cool. You've done a workout for the day, and then after it, you're like, I do feel pretty good, man.
Yeah, I think it's a weird one as well because like a lot of people say they haven't got the time, but like if you do that workout in the morning,
yeah.
I bet the next 3 hours of your day
are super productive.
So you probably that 20 minutes is going to make up for itself by the time the day's over.
Oh yeah, man, totally.
Because you'd be flying like.
Yeah, and then like if by the time you've done that and you do it, like you start getting into the habit regularly. I fell out of it a bit. I need to kind of get back into it, but like. Yeah, if you're like really into it, like you're knackered by the end of the day, which is good because you sleep better. And when you sleep better, you're better rested. So then when you wake up, you're like, okay, I'll get up, I'll have a cup of coffee, I'll do my workout. And then you're ready to go again. It's like...
You've got to force it to start it.
Oh yeah, man. Like, and that's something that I kind of learned and then like, kind of like fallen off and I kind of need to beat back into myself. Yeah. It's like, man, like once you get going, the beginning is the hardest bit. Yeah. But it's the same with anything. It's the same with drums. If you're playing or any musical instrument or art or whatever the hell you want to get into, like whatever, like those first month to 6 months is the hardest bit. Like once you're over that hill, then you'll be flying.
I want to talk a little bit about like the Facebook have stopped like live streaming, have they, for musicians?
Yeah,
like what's that?
It's so convoluted because and vague that it's like John actually did an amazing video about this, and he put it far more eloquently than I probably will. But yeah, essentially from what I've read, and I've not read a lot just because I saw it and it pissed me off. But it was the Facebook are like they've got more of a focus on like your standard sort of family kind of content. So I don't know. The thing is, we don't know whether it's like relating to sponsored videos and stuff. Like everybody gets them on Facebook, sponsored videos, and it's like some band you've never heard of. Like, here's our new EP, here's our latest single. Which, like, but for me, that's the stuff that I want on Facebook. Like, I don't want to see another 1,000 pictures of your little baby princess. Like, I don't care. Like, I know that's really harsh, but I don't need to see any more baby photos on Facebook. I'd rather see bands. So I get it. Like, so I think they're saying that it's essentially they're gonna sort of put a limit on how much you can. I think it's like how much you can live stream, and then it's also like I can't remember. I'm just trying to think of the wording. It was like a listening experience for yourself or others. I think was the like phrase they used, which is just so vague because it's like, well, what is so if like anyone posts a video with music in it, you're gonna like stop showing that to as many people.
It's weird, isn't it?
And it's all to do with like Facebook's algorithms and the way they push stuff out. So it's like if you post like a video with a link or like a picture with a link in it, they'll show that to less people on your feed because they want to drive traffic to their platform. So
they don't want to be driving it to YouTube.
To YouTube or wherever. So it's like they'll like they won't let that go out to your full feed. So I think it's just gonna be stuff like that. They're just gonna kind of squash it and compress it down to like the people that really, really want to see it. But then it's like, well, then bands have got like no audience because then like, it's like as John says in his video, like you just kick us in the teeth when we're down. Like we're all currently out of work, really struggling as like an industry. Like, and it's not just like musicians, it's also like all the other guys like roadies, techs, lighting guys, all the guys that run the stage, all that kind of stuff, event managers, promoters, like there's this massive chain of people connected to the music industry. And like, we're all, like struggling right now. So then videos would just be like, oh, by the way, we're going to kick you in the balls while you're down. It's like, come on, man. Like, the timing of it could not be any worse. Like, if it was like this time last year, people would have been like, well, that sucks, but okay. Whereas like now, it's like, really? Right now, you're going to do this? So
for people who are into their music as well, maybe one of the only places they'd be able to get like a bit of a live experience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally. And it's so counterproductive from Facebook. Like, I don't get it from a business point of view. Like, why Facebook would do that? Because it's like, hey, we're going to drive all of our business elsewhere. Because like bands like me that are like trying to build an audience and trying to be like sponsored posts and stuff like, okay, currently, like if you want to really push stuff, you have to pay Facebook a bit for like ads and all that kind of stuff, apart from like organic reach. So it's like, But yeah, like I don't mind paying like a £5 or whatever it is to like push out to a local area, and sort of you can pick what groups and stuff people you want to target. Because like, yeah, cool, you're into like fitness and music and stuff, so like, okay, cool, like I know you're into that, so I can target you. Whereas like I'm not gonna be like interested in somebody's like into beauty products or whatever, because they just don't care.
Yeah.
So it's like you can target it, so that's great, and then just to be like, no, you can't do that anymore. It's like,
it's weird why they wouldn't let you do it if you're paying, especially.
Yeah.
It's kind of, like you said, counterintuitive on their part.
It's just stupid because it's like, yeah, we're trying to build my audience. That's that kind of went off on one, but like, yeah, like you're trying to build an audience, and then like, so that's your way to build an audience, and then they're just going to take that away from you. So it's like, well, if I can't do it here, I'm just going to do it elsewhere. So I don't know why Facebook would do that, because all they're doing is like playing into Twitch and YouTube's hands. Yeah,
definitely. And like, they got the Facebook TV now as well, haven't they? Like,
yeah,
kind of like Instagram TV sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I think do Facebook own Instagram, or
I think so.
Yeah,
and WhatsApp, I think, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's all. Yeah,
they got a monopoly on it. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, so it's just like, well, like, yeah, I'm just gonna go use other platforms then. If you're gonna like really like, I don't think they're gonna police it. Like, it depends, because like, if they just start smashing out like, you know, bots and kind of algorithm stuff and just crushing everything, then yeah, musicians are just going to go, well, fuck you, I'm off.
Yeah.
And they're just going to go use other platforms, which sucks then, because yeah, then Facebook's just going to become like a weird zone of like just family photos and like, hey, here's another picture of my cheesecake. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know what you have for every meal of the day.
They kind of like, they own Facebook, Instagram. They're all the same thing, but they're kind of all moving in the same direction to be the similar thing as well. Like, you got stories and the TVs on both.
Yeah, and they got reels and stuff, which is kind of trying to take over TikTok and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you kind of think they'd like differentiate it a bit to make like draw different audiences, but it's all kind of, I suppose they know what works, don't they? And
yeah, it's feeding the algorithm, but I think that's a lot of the problem with a lot of stuff right now. Is just it's kind of all just homogenous, you know. It's kind of, there's no like standout stuff, and if it is standout, people just go, that doesn't fit in a pigeonhole, therefore it's trash, throw it away.
It's getting like a little bit more boring to be on there, because you're seeing all the same stuff, and like, I can only buy so much of the stuff I like. Do you know what I mean? I'm sick of seeing it. Like you say, you want stuff to break it up.
Yeah, you want stuff to be like, yeah, cool. Like, I've never heard of this band, but they seem interesting. I'll check them out. And you're like, yeah, cool. And then just forging new experiences with your life. You'll be like, cool, I'll go see this band. And then maybe you'll go see them and make a new friend. And then that friend like ends inviting you to their wedding or whatever. Like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of confirming biases left, right, and centre.
Oh, dude,
you're
totally.
Never getting outside of your little world.
Your little bubble, man. No, I mean, I kind of like actively seek that out. Like, I love. Like, yeah, I'm not like I don't like poke the bear, but like, yeah, I love to hear difference of opinions and stuff, because it's like, you know, I think one way, you think the other, like, but that's cool. Like, it's good to have a conversation about stuff, because otherwise everyone just like ends up in these weird little bubbles, like, which is probably a bad term to use right now, because everyone's living in bubbles of 6. Yeah, no more than 6. But like, yeah, if like
hunting, isn't it?
Yeah, keep our rich friends happy.
Probably get taken down.
Yeah, like, streams off. But like, yeah, I think like, yeah, everyone just is going to be like they like this and they like this and they like this. It's like, man, life is so much more interesting if you have this kind of mishmash of cultures and ideas and stuff, because like, it's just, that's what makes interesting stuff happen, because then you have like this, I mean, like one of the best examples of like bands I can think of off the top of my head is like Skindred. Like, they're a metal reggae band from Newport, and like, they're amazing. But like, if you said to someone, bet you like reggae metal, they'd be like, what the fuck, what are you on about? Like, but you're like, they're huge. They play like, you know, Download Festival, and like, it's rammed when they play. And it's like, that, you know, like, that wouldn't happen if it's like, well, you like metal, you must live over here, and you like reggae, so you must live over here. It's like, well, like, just mash it all up, man.
Well, like, I'm kind of into a bit of everything.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, I kind of like drum and bass, rap sort of thing. But then, like, when I hear something that you guys are doing or whatever, I'm loving that as well.
Yeah.
You can't just, you know, you can't pigeonhole anything, can you?
Oh, man, it's boring if you just, like, live your life like, I only like indie rock.
Yeah.
Like, lame. Like, just like what you like. I think it's so, like, there's such a policing of, like, and trying to pigeonhole of, like, stuff that people, like, you're not allowed to like that, but you're allowed to like this.
Yeah, trying to label everything.
But just, label it. I'm like, just let people enjoy what they enjoy, man. Like, who cares? Like, I mean, like, for me, like, it's a question that, like, musicians get asked all the time. Like, what's your guilty pleasure? Like, what do you like to listen to that's your guilty pleasure? I'm like, dude, I have no guilty pleasures. Like, I'm not guilty about anything I enjoy. Like, I like ABBA. I also like Slayer. Yeah. Like, you know, like, you can't listen to death metal all day without something to chill out to. Like, you know, like, whatever. Like, yeah, I like everything from, like, reggae to pop to drum and bass to R&B to whatever. Like, you know, metal, punk, whatever. Like, it's just good music or good anything is good. Like, so it's not harming anyone.
The work as well. Like, do you know what I mean? You can appreciate what someone's doing, what they're putting out. Yeah, you know, especially you. Like, you know what goes into it as well. It's not.
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, if there's anything that you do, like, even if it's like, I listen to stuff in the top 40, and I'm like WAP. That's out right now. It's like, this sucks. It sucks. It's so like throwaway, but like it's clever as well because like it's like, well, I know exactly what you've done here. You've just done this to be provocative. But I know that like we listen to it as a like piece of work or art. Dare I use the word in context of that song? But like, yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, so some dude has sat there and worked for hours on the beats and then like the chord progressions, and then like Cardi B's obviously worked on her vocals and what works and what doesn't, and like you know, like there's hours of people's lives have gone into this and brought life into it. Like, even if you think it sucks, it still takes time and effort. So like,
do you think there's like a culture that's gone around that though? So like, say you have a top 40 hit and you get like a party and these girls or whoever are throwing on the top 40 and you know it's like, oh, these people like these songs, it's the right song, I don't like the song, I'll listen to it. Yeah. And then the next year you'll have control of the music where you would hear the song come on and be like, oh, it's like, I know you like the song, just because it's like there's these new top 40, they won't listen to that. They're always sticking with whatever's new, and but you know they like it, they don't like it if it's not new. And
yeah, man. The theme is relevant, like.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing of people like. That's what like this whole sort of like Facebook pigeonholing thing leads to is like
you're behind the times.
Yeah, like you must only like the top 40. Therefore, you know, that's it. Yeah. Because if it's not in the top 40, you're not cool. It's like, dude, I don't care. Like I said, I like wearing what I like wearing. I like listening to what I like to listen. I like what art I like. You know, like I can appreciate. Like again, I'm not into fitness and stuff, but I can appreciate like when you see someone who's like totally jacked. I'm like, man, the effort that you've gone into to like achieve that is incredible.
And you can't just put them people down as like a gym junkie who's dull, because you can't be dull and get to that position either.
No, because you're thinking about like nutrition and fitness and all that kind of stuff, and like that's, you know, it's a science in itself. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like and again, it's like anything. There's idiots in no matter what you do, but like, yeah, like just trying to like just let people enjoy what they enjoy and let people like discover new stuff that they might enjoy. So that's like the whole like Facebook video thing. It just sucks. It's like it's just a kick in the teeth when we're down, and it's like, well, what are you going to achieve with this apart from losing traffic to your website? It's just like, it makes no sense.
The algorithm changes like quite regular, doesn't it? They're always like,
they're pretty hot on it.
And if they see like they don't even know what sectors the money are coming from, so if they see like they're taking a massive hit on that, then
I think that's why the language in it is so vague, because I think they're just going to be like, that it'd be just from like experience with like how YouTube have operated and stuff, is like they're gonna like nail a load of people, they're gonna get such backlash and be like, oh well, it was because they were breaching this rule and this rule that we've just made up. So like I think it's gonna be a lot of like that and backpedaling and kind of like, no, we didn't mean that, we meant this. And it'll be like, no, you didn't. Like, you know, we all know, and like anyone who's in the know are gonna be like, come on.
Yeah. Is there any like platforms, or maybe it's something you could look into, where you could get like a load of you together and do like a gig night, or like a live gig night or whatever? Yeah,
man. I mean, like it's something I've been toying with for like just me, like playing in the studio or whatever, like with Twitch. I've kind of been like play with that idea, and I'm going to kind of jump into that a bit more, I think. It's hard. The problem is with music and live streaming is it's latency issues. So it's like, if you're all in, like if the band are all in one room and it's all being filmed, it's all running through one system, it'll probably be okay. But if you've got like one guy in his house and another guy here, it's like all you need is that tiny like millisecond of delay and the whole thing just goes right. Yeah. It doesn't sound right. It says like, the drummer will be counting the song in, and then like the guitarist has started, and then the bass player is like, you know, like it's just gonna like, it'll be chaos. So it's really hard to like find something that works for everyone. I think that's why a lot of musicians have been doing like live streams on their own and that kind of stuff, because it's.
I think they shouldn't be able to stop you when you're doing your own music.
No,
you know what I mean? If you like doing someone else's music, a bit of copyright, I can kind of understand it. But like if you're putting out all your own stuff.
Yeah, man. I thought, I agree with that.
I think
I agree with that. I think because it's like, I mean, like if I was a Ed Sheeran and you know there's like 1 billion people on YouTube doing bad covers of my songs, I'd be like, well, yeah, this like please clamp down on this so like at least good quality ones get through. So I get that, but like in the same breath, like just it's just punishing everybody for like stupid reasons.
To be honest, would he even look at it like that? I don't know.
No,
he loves the fact that people are doing it.
Dude, I would. Like, are you kidding me? Like I remember the first time people ever sang my song lyrics back to me at a gig. It was when I was in like little punk band when I first started out called the AP Suit, and like I remember we played in Brecon, and it was like, you know, we've done a few gigs and a few people had kind of learned the words to one song, and they sang it back, and I just remember being like, oh my god, wow, people know the words to our stupid songs.
They know us.
Yeah, it's like what, like that feeling is incredible. So I think
sign of respect, isn't it?
Yeah, man, totally. I think any musician that's ever had that experience would be like, yeah, dude, I will never get bored of that, like because that's what it's about, like that interaction with your fans and stuff. So. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think if someone's Muller in your song, then I think you'd be a bit like, please stop, please. But I mean,
I hope people see ours before they see your version.
Yeah, it'd be a bit like that. But no, I just don't know with the whole Facebook thing, like how it's going to affect music. Because I don't think it's going to be very like easy to police, like as a sort of from a tech point of view, like how they're going to be like, oh, you've been streaming too much this month.
Yeah.
Like, so like, I've got nothing else to do. I can't gig anywhere. Like, come on. Like,
people aren't going elsewhere for their entertainment at the minute the same ways, are they? Because they can't, because you're not out there doing it. Yeah. So it kind of makes sense. You think they try and like make a way to monetize it or something?
Yeah, dude, totally. Like if Facebook came up and were like, okay, like you were gonna do like ticket-based system kind of stuff. There's been a few websites that have been trying to like launch it, but it's like so you pay for like a digital ticket essentially, and then like you get put into a lobby and you can watch a band live or like watch an old live video or something like that. So like that would be really cool if they was like, dude, you keep 70%, Facebook are going to keep 30%, but we'll deal with all the back end tech stuff of it. It'd be like, yeah, sick, like cool. Yeah, and people can donate or whatever, and like, yeah, it'd be really cool.
Yeah,
but
like a Patreon vibe sort of thing.
Yeah, and Patreon's amazing for artists. I think that's. I don't have a Patreon or anything because I'm not really in a position to have one. But like, yeah, I'm definitely for like artists that are kind of starting to build a good following. I'm like, man, just do that because it's the most direct way of interacting with your audience. And like, yeah, okay, it's a kind of a little bit like if you like me, pay for me kind of thing. But I just think it's great because I mean, I've used Patreon with a couple of artists I really care about, and it's like, yeah, it's the price of a coffee a month.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
$5.
A weird one, but it's like real genuine.
Yeah.
Then as well, isn't it? Because they're not requesting it from you. They're giving you the option, aren't they? And
yeah, I mean, like, and there's so many like the way the music industry works, like Spotify and stuff. Like, you get, I think, was it like per Spotify stream is like 0.0000001 pence.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You have to listen to a song like 1,000 times to earn like minimum wage, like from one song. Like, and that's if you're a solo artist, so you got to split that 4 or 5 ways depending on the size of your band.
Yeah.
You know,
that's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like, so the Patreon and stuff like that is like the most direct way to be like, I care about you and your art. Please take this money. You know, it's like literally like as close as you're going to get to physically handing someone the money at the moment. So like, I think that kind of stuff is really important for artists.
Like,
but
when streaming kind of kicked in, like Spotify and stuff, and kind of CDs went out the window.
Yeah,
I bet that was a massive hit on artists, wasn't it? Because I expect they got. I don't know. I might be wrong, but did they get so much more money when they were getting like?
Well, it's physical record sales, yeah. So it's like physical, you know. It's the production, but like there's loads of sneaky stuff. Like with certain record companies, they'll like although they won't put your material out on physical version anymore. There'll be like I can't remember the proper wording for it now. It's escaped me. But like there's like a term for like the manufacturing process and like breakages. So like if they were making like 1,000 CDs, they expect like 10% of that will be broken. So they charge you a little extra fee.
Yeah.
But they still charge you that even if it's on a digital download. Like how can you break a digital download? Like you can't. Like but there's little stuff like that. It's just crazy, constantly like just taking little bits from
we've got this, income. We're not giving it back.
Yeah, man, it's just little bits of income here and there and stuff. But so like
they're feeling the pinch as well, I expect. So they're like
yeah, man, but they've been doing that for years though. 30 Seconds to Mars, like emo band, but they did Jared Leto, who's a famous actor, is the front man of the band. And they did an amazing documentary about that when they made their second album, and he goes into depth about that whole like this is a record deal essentially, and like breaks it all down. It's amazing. Actually, I can't do it justice, but like go check that out on YouTube or whatever because that's really cool.
Yeah,
if you want to like learn more about that, anyway.
So, like looking into the future now, what's the plan of attack once things start opening up and you can see a gig in sight?
Yeah, well, too. Yeah, when is the sort of next question? But yeah, I mean, the immediate future is ride it out and see where we are come 2021. Because I seriously don't think we're going to be gigging before then. I just can't see it happening with the various rules and stuff. Even if places open back up and we don't have a major second wave or anything like that, I think it's still going to be, people are going to be scared to go to gigs and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think at least 2021 is going to be like no gigs, and then see it fire it back up. But yeah, man, as soon as I can get back on the stage in front of people, I'm there.
Yeah, like, I bet you can't wait. Like,
yeah, dude, it's like like when the gyms were closed for people who are like super into fitness. It's like, no, you can't go there anymore.
Yeah,
but why?
Yeah. Like, this is what I do.
Yeah, this is what I do. Like, I don't know what else to do. Well, tough, you can't go there. Like, so it's weird, but like
sanctuaries.
Yeah, man, it is. Yeah, they are. Like, I think like for music is as close as I get to going to church. Like I think I've said it before in videos, but like, yeah, it's like, I'm not a religious man, but like I get that, it's like a euphoric feeling. Like you go to a gig and you're there and you're one with your community of people. Like, it doesn't matter who you are or like where you've come from or like, right, you're in the same band that I'm into. I don't care about anything else about you. Like for the next hour or whatever, we're just gonna sing these songs together and be like one community, and that's a beautiful thing. So like I just can't wait to get back gigging as soon as I can. Of course.
Yeah, well, I hope you have like a great 2021 and it's totally different to this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's brilliant. I'd love to see this like stats. If you could see stats of the universe of like how many people were like 2020 is gonna be my year, man. Like, I'd love to know how many people said that and are now like,
some people.
Yeah, man, dude. I was so looking forward to this year. Like, I had like a pretty full diary. I went on tour at the start of the year with John, which was amazing. Did like a full originals tour. We did most of the UK. I think we cancelled like 2 dates because of the virus, so we got really lucky with that. But yeah, I think more touring. I'm like working on a new side project with a buddy of mine, Craig, which is going to be like launching probably the end of this year, I think. Bit of an exclusive, but I'm not going to say any more than that because he'll tell me off. But yeah, we're that's the plan. It might not happen anyway. But like that's sort of got a little side project that I'm working on that we're just doing remotely back and forth.
I think it's cool that you like following your dreams, doing what you love, and massive respect. Like, and
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Good place to end it. Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Most places. If you search at Ty Walker Drums, you can find me. It's TY for Ty. It's Ty Walker Drums. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Where else am I? Twitter. I am on TikTok, although I barely use it. Where else am I? MySpace, Bebo, anyway. YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, you can find me on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe to that.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm trying to that's the other thing, building YouTube channels and stuff. That's like hard work, but yeah, I'll figure that out. Regular content, man. That's what I need to be doing. You're smashing it. Smashing it with the regular content.
I know, man. Stuff.
But dude, thank you for having me on.
Mate, it's been an honor. Like, thanks for coming.
Really chuffed to be on.
It's been a great chat. Like, so
yeah, likewise, man.
Appreciate that. We do shake hands.
Shaking hands.